Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Melissa. I am a full-time nursing student. I also work full-time, and in this video I'm going to be taking you through a 92-hour work week in my life. So for those of you all that have not seen my previous videos, I attend Chamberlain University. I am in their BSN program. If you're not familiar with Chamberlain, it's a university that has campuses throughout the nation, and I'm very fortunate that my campus is one of the few campuses that have an evening and weekend program for nursing. So I attend classes in the evening, and then I go to my clinicals on the weekend, and then on top of that I work a full-time Monday through Friday daytime job. So I actually have my phone out and I broke down my week in terms of hours because I could not even believe that I work a 92-hour work week, but 50 hours of my week go to working. Even though I have like a full-time 40-hour a week job, on average I spend about 50 hours a week working, and then I spend 6 hours a week in class. I spend 12 hours a week in clinical. Believe it or not, I spend 7 hours of my week commuting in my car to and from class and to and from clinicals. And then I spend on average about 2 hours doing YouTube, not just filming videos, but also editing videos, responding to emails and what have you. And then I spend roughly 15 hours doing homework and studying each week. So I'm gonna take you through my week, Monday through Sunday. And also really quickly, before I get into the breakdown of my week, Monday through Sunday, I will just say, if you're not familiar with Chamberlain's layout, Chamberlain is an accelerated program. So my classes are not 16-week semesters. My classes are actually condensed into 8-week courses. So every 8 weeks or every 2 months, my class schedule changes. So the schedule that I am going to be talking about in this video is what I had in January and February. As of me uploading this video, my schedule is a bit different in terms of the days that I go to clinical, the days that I go to classes, and just kind of everything. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with Monday. Pretty much all of my mornings start off the same. I wake up with my husband next to me and my dog at the foot of the bed. I am African. Shout out to anyone who's watching from Liberia or Sierra Leone, because I'm half Liberian, half Sierra Leonean. Sleeping with the dog is gross. That is how I was raised. However, I am married to an American man, and even though we crate trained the dog and I insisted that she does not sleep with us, one night she got sick and my husband convinced me to let her sleep at the foot of our bed so that we could monitor her. And then one night of her sleeping at the foot of the bed turned into 2 nights, and then 2 nights turned into 3 years. So I wake up every morning with my husband next to me and my dog at the foot of the bed. And the very first thing that I do when I wake up is I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, wash my face, get my day started. Then the next thing that I do every single morning is I will take my dog out to go to the bathroom. Then after I let the dog out, my husband is usually out the door and I'm saying goodbye to him. I work from home, he does not work from home. So then I will come back inside, I will start a pot of coffee, and I will sign on to work. Usually I wake up on Mondays around like 7 a.m. I usually start working around 7:30, 8 a.m. I like to start my mornings kind of early. And then that's pretty much my Monday. I will just kind of work all day from home in my pajamas or in some sweatpants. I'll take a break at noon to make myself a lunch, and then I will sign off. I'll make myself a quick dinner, and then in the evenings on Mondays, I typically will sit, do homework. If you attend Chamberlain, or I think it's nationwide, but I usually will do like my EDAPT assignments and my ATIs on Monday nights, and I'll do that for a couple hours, and then I will chill and watch TV with my husband when he comes home in the evening, and then go to bed. So now Tuesdays are a lot more interesting than Mondays because I go to campus on Tuesdays for class. So like I said, I have class in the evenings, but I need to sign on to work early to make sure that I get off of work early enough to get to campus early enough so that I'm not late for class. So just like every other morning, I'll wake up, get myself ready for the day, take the dog out to the bathroom, start a pot of coffee, and start working super early so I can get off a little bit earlier. And then literally the second that I get off, half the time I don't even change once I'm done with work. So half the time I go to campus. If you go to my campus and you've seen me in sweats or just looking like a bum, that's because I don't have time to change after getting off of work. So I will literally get off work, go to the bathroom, get into my car, and start my hour. Sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's an hour and a half commute to Virginia to go to campus. If you are not in the DC metropolitan area and you are not familiar with traffic here, traffic is horrible. It's bad on 495 if you're going to Virginia. It's bad on 495 if you're coming back from Virginia. It's bad in the morning. It's bad during the middle of the day. It's bad in the evening. It's bad on the weekend. 495 always has traffic and it always has construction. It is a nightmare, but that is the only way that I can get to class. I live in Maryland, class is in Virginia, and in order to get to Virginia from Maryland, you have to take 495. So then I sit in class for 3 hours because I was just taking med-surg and lectures 2 nights a week, 3 hours each. So I sit in class, listen to lecture, catch up with people in my cohort, and then I get back into my car and I get to drive about an hour to an hour and a half back to Maryland to go home. So then once I get home, like clockwork, within 15 minutes of me getting home every single Tuesday, I get a call from my mother because she likes to make sure that I get home safe and sound after traveling on 495 traffic. If I do not answer the phone, she will call me a second time. If I do not answer the phone a second time, she will call my husband to make sure that I made it home okay. So then we talk for like maybe 20 minutes, kiki, do family gossip, and then after I hang up with my mom, then I talk to my husband and I catch up, see how his day was, I tell him how my day was, play with my dog a little bit, and then I hop in the shower. Then after I'm out of the shower, I like to make myself some tea and I like to get into comfortable clothing. Usually I'm already in comfortable clothing because I work in sweatpants and pajamas, and then I go to campus in my sweatpants and pajamas. So then I will shower and then I'll put on a fresh pair of pajamas or sweatpants just so I feel clean. And you would think that I'm ready to relax because by now it's about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night on average. And like I said, I start my days on Tuesdays early. So usually I'll start my day like 6:30. And then by the time that I'm done with everything, it's like 10:30, 11. And you'd think that I'm ready to go to sleep and wind down. Not yet. Because if you attend Chamberlain University, then you know that we have quizzes that we have to do in our classes every week. And the quizzes are always due Tuesday night, technically Wednesday morning, but it's like Tuesday night at midnight Mountain Time. But since I do not live in the Mountain Time zone, I'm on the East Coast, for me that equates to Wednesday morning at 2 a.m. And like clockwork, every single week I procrastinate on this quiz, and I promise you more often than not, I will do this quiz usually around like 1:30 a.m. every single Tuesday night / Wednesday morning. So usually after I'm dressed and I'm comfortable and I'm all ready for bed, crawl into bed, my husband will be watching TV, my dog will be sleeping at the foot of the bed, and I will be studying for this quiz that I need to take. At some point, my husband's ready for bed. When he's ready to go to sleep, I get up with my laptop, I go into the study. We have a home office that we call a study. And so I will just be awake and I will be studying for this quiz. And usually I take the quiz around 1 a.m. Half the time I get like a C on the quiz. If I'm lucky, I'll get a B. And then finally I can brush my teeth and go to sleep. So now it's Wednesday. Wednesday mornings, like clockwork. I usually sleep in on Wednesdays because I usually stay up until 2 a.m. on Tuesdays. So with my job, I have to work a certain amount of hours in a day. I have to work 8 hours. However, it's a little bit lax. I have like a window. So if I sign in earlier, then I can sign off earlier. I can also sign in later and then sign off later, if that makes sense. So usually on Wednesdays, I will sleep in and I will sign in to work later. So Wednesdays, wake up, have my routine. Typically on Wednesdays, since I'm sleeping in, my husband's already gone, so I don't even get to say goodbye to him. But I will take my dog out to go to the bathroom, I'll make coffee, and I usually will use that time to do dishes, clean the house, just have a slower morning, and then I sign into work and I work all day. Since I sign on later on Wednesdays, that means that I get off later on Wednesdays. By the time that I'm off, usually my husband's home, he is fed, I usually eat dinner while I'm working, and then once I sign off, I do not do any work on Wednesday nights because I need a mental break, otherwise I'm going to have a breakdown. So what I usually do is I will watch TV with my husband and I will scroll TikTok and I will scroll Instagram, and we just have a really chill night. We love 911. I don't know if you guys know that show on Fox. There's 911, like the original 911. I have watched that for years. And then there's 911 Lone Star. We are obsessed with that. My husband and I watch it together. We usually can't watch it live, but we have Hulu, so we'll go back and like on Wednesday nights we'll watch 911. We'll get caught up on Lone Star. And then we will also watch Abbott Elementary. I love that show. I watch it every single Wednesday night and I like to watch it live. And then I'll shower, I will snack because I like to be unhealthy, and then I will crawl into bed with my tea, and I will again scroll Instagram, scroll TikTok or whatever, and I will fall asleep. Usually we will watch like Malcolm in the Middle or something lighthearted. But yeah, so that's Wednesday. I did absolutely no schoolwork. I just focused on work and like self-care and spending time with my husband. So now Thursdays. Thursdays, I also have to go to campus for my second lecture of the week. Thursdays, I wake up early the same way that I do on Tuesdays. I have my whole morning routine, start working early so that I can sign off early. So Thursdays can go one of two ways. It depends on whether or not I have an exam. If I do not have an exam, I pretty much follow the exact same schedule as Tuesday, where I sit in class for 3 hours and then I sit in 495 traffic for an hour to an hour and a half, get home, catch up with my husband, shower, and then I'll crawl into bed and like mindlessly scroll YouTube or TikTok or whatever. I'll also talk and gossip with my mother because she likes to call me to make sure I get home safely. And since I don't have a quiz on Thursday because I already knocked that out on Tuesday, what I will do instead is I will edit a YouTube video usually. Editing videos is so therapeutic for me and it's like a genuine hobby of mine. So I'll just be watching TV with my husband and I'll have in like one earphone kind of halfway paying attention to both, and I will just edit a YouTube video till I get tired and then I will go to sleep. Now if I have an exam that Thursday, because all of my exams this past session were on Thursdays, so I didn't have an exam every Thursday, but all of my exams were administered on Thursdays. So if this was a Thursday with an exam, thank God I had a professor who would let us go home after the exam. I have had professors who are heartless, and we would finish taking our exam, we'd have to hang out in the student lounge and then come back when everyone was done for a lecture. If you are a professor that lets your students go home after an exam, bless you, you are an angel. My professor last session let us go home, so once you were done taking the exam, you could just go about your merry way, you could go home. So what I would do on exam days, since I knew I was going to be getting out early, is that I would take that time and I would go to the gym. So I'd come back to Maryland, I would work out at the gym because that's like my one little pocket where I actually have time to go to the gym and work out. So then after the gym, I will come home, talk to my husband, play with my dog, talk to my mom on the phone so that she can make sure that I am alive and that I made it home. I'll shower, I'll do my whole chamomile tea and clean pajamas ritual, and then I will get into bed and I will edit a YouTube video until I get tired and I pass out and go to sleep. So then Friday, most people are really excited for Friday. I don't get excited for Friday because it really doesn't make a difference to me because I work a 92-hour work week and I still have stuff to do on Saturday and Sunday. So, you know, it's Friday, it's just another day where I have to keep working. I like to wake up early on Friday so I can try to get off early on Friday. Sometimes I like to sleep in on Fridays. It's really just how I'm feeling, but I'll start working on Friday and just like any other day, I will work all day while my husband's gone. Typically while I'm working, my father will then text me neurotically because he is very anxious, but he will text me neurotically if I had an exam the night before to see how I did on the exam and to make sure that I am not failing my exams and flunking out of school and ruining my life. So he'll text me and then I'll text him back and say I did really well on my exam, and then he'll be like, thank God, and he will give me some family gossip because he also likes to kiki, and we'll just be texting back and forth on Fridays. So now Friday can go one of two ways. If I have clinical on Saturday, because my clinicals are on the weekend, if I have clinical the very next day, I do not go out on Friday night. So I don't go see my friends, I don't go see my family, I won't have a drink. I will get off of work on Friday and I will be home with my husband and my dog and my rabbit, and we will start a movie. Usually we'll start the movie around like 6, 7 so that we can finish early. And then I will prep for clinical the next day, because clinical you have to wake up super early and be at the hospital by 7 a.m. And my clinical this past session was in Virginia. So I had to wake up really, really early so I could leave my house really, really early and make sure that I was at clinical on time. So if I had clinicals the next day, I'd get off work, watch a movie with my husband, drink a non-alcoholic beverage, maybe make some popcorn, and then I would get ready for clinical the next day. So that includes washing my uniform, making sure that it is clean, ironed, and laying out. I will prep coffee because I have a super fancy coffee maker, and I can prep it for the next morning so that when I wake up in the morning, I will have fresh brewed coffee. I will make sure that my clinical bag is packed. I will print out all of my clinical documentation, put it in my book bag, and then I will be in bed, showered, teeth brushed and everything no later than like 10 p.m. And I try to make sure that I'm off my phone and like laying down with my eyes closed, ready for bed by 10:30, because the next day is Saturday and I have to wake up so early. So now it's Saturday and we have a clinical, which is super exciting, but that also means I have to wake up at 5 a.m. So Saturday mornings, wake up at 5 a.m. My husband's sleeping because he works full time, so he worked all week and he's tired. My dog is sleeping because she's lazy and she likes to sleep in. So I wake up and I fumble in the dark and I go into my closet. Closet's walk-in closet, so, and it has light in it, so I'm able to get dressed and everything inside of my closet without waking up my family. And then I go into the bathroom, do everything I need to do very quietly without waking up my family. And then I come downstairs, pour my coffee into my coffee mug since it's already prepped up from the night before. I grab my bag and I head out the door and head to Virginia for clinical. So every 8 weeks, I like to change the hospital that I do clinical at. At Chamberlain, we are very fortunate and we can pick where we have our clinicals. Like, not just pick anywhere. There's a list of different clinical options that you have for your class. Sometimes you only have 2 options. Sometimes you have 6. It just depends. I like to choose a new clinical site every single time I have clinical because I want as much experience as I can get, and I want to work in as many hospitals as I can work in and on as many units as I can work in, just so I can get more experience while I'm in nursing school. So the clinical site that I chose last session was in Virginia. So usually it was about an hour and a half to get to my clinical site every Saturday. So I'd get to my clinical, I'd be on the unit. 12-hour clinical is what you have to do for med-surg. So I would spend 12 hours doing my clinical, and then I would do my commute back home on 495. So if it took me an hour to an hour and a half to get to clinical, it would take me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get home, because then you're really in rush hour traffic, even though it's always rush hour traffic. But a Saturday evening coming out of Virginia going to Maryland is hell. So it usually takes me about an hour and a half on a good day, 2 hours on a bad day to commute back home to Virginia from clinical on Saturdays. So then it just depends on how I'm feeling. If I am exhausted, then I will just go straight home. If I'm not too exhausted, then I will stop by my mom and dad's house because I haven't seen them all week because I've been busy. My family is very African, very close-knit, and fortunately my parents' home is on the way to my house coming from Virginia. So usually no matter what clinical site I'm at, I will try to stop by my parents if I'm not too tired. And more often than not, when I stop by my parents unannounced and uninvited, my brother's already there, unannounced and uninvited. So I will also have a chance to see him. He's my big brother. And I have my aunt who lives less than 2 minutes away from my parents, and she will be there sometimes, unannounced and uninvited, with her kids. So I get to see my cousins, and we go, and it's this big family affair where we all just kind of ended up at my parents' house, even though there was no event that was planned and we didn't tell my parents we were coming ahead of time. And I will hang out with them for about an hour, hour and a half. And then my husband will text me and be like, where are you? What are you doing? When are you coming home for dinner? What are we doing for dinner? So then I say bye to my family, my birth family, because my husband's also my family, but I'll say bye to my people, and then I will travel back up and come home to my husband and my dog and my rabbit. Now, once I get home, I do get excited because finally this is my Saturday night and I get to relax. I really don't have fun on Friday nights because I have clinical the next day and I have to wake up at like 5 a.m. But Saturday nights are fun because I can stay up a little bit later and I can drink alcohol and I can hang out with my friends. I can do whatever I want to do because on Sundays I do not have work and I don't have school and I don't have clinical. So I love Saturday nights. So I'll get home. First thing I'll do is I will shower because I am gross from the hospital. Some days I'm fine. Other days I will have bodily fluids or nasty stuff on my uniform. So first thing I do is I will strip myself. I will put my uniform in the hamper, or if it's really gross, I'll just go ahead and throw it directly into the wash. I will go up and I will shower, and then I will come downstairs and my husband and I will figure out what we're doing for dinner. Usually we will order out. So like pizza, we love mod pizza. We love Thai food. We love pho. Pho is his favorite. We love Chinese food. We live in an area where we have at least 3 to 4 options for every single type of food that you can think of. So sushi, we live like walking distance from 4 sushi places. Burger joints, we live walking distance from maybe like 10. We live walking distance from, maybe not walking distance, but we're within like a 5 to 10 minute drive of 3 different pho places. We have pretty much anything you can think of. We have it, so we're really spoiled. So half the time my husband will order one thing and I'll order another since we have so many options, and we will pick a movie and we will watch that movie while we eat our food and chill. Now my husband's more of a homebody, so usually on Saturday nights I'm really tired and I like to just stay home with my husband. Sometimes one of my girlfriends will hit me up and she'll be like, hey, what are you doing? I want to go dancing, I want to get drinks. So I will go out with them, but most nights, most Saturday nights, I will be at home in my PJs with my husband, eating our takeout and watching Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus or Amazon Prime. I will also take this time to do my nails. So I have like a foot soaker at home, and so I do my own pedicures, my own manicures here. I have a foot soaker. I have everything that you could possibly need for a manicure pedicure. I have a gel nail manicure set. I actually just did my nails last night. I don't know if you guys can see it. But you are not supposed to have nail polish or acrylic nails or anything like that at clinical, and I like to respect that. So usually what I will do is I will like to do my nails, whether they are press on or glue on, or whether they're just painting my nails or doing a gel manicure or a like dip powder manicure at home. I like to do that on Saturday night, and then that way I can enjoy my nails all week. And then usually on Friday night when I'm getting ready for clinical, part of my getting ready for clinical is removing my nails, just because I like to be respectful of the rules, and I feel like I just shouldn't have nail polish if that's the school's policy or uniform policy. But Saturday nights are when I actually sit and do my nails so I can enjoy them for the week. And so I'll usually do that when watching a movie and just relaxing. And Saturday night is just, it's my one night to just be myself and just enjoy my freaking life. I really, really cherish my Saturday nights, and I think my husband does too. So now we're at Sunday. Some people have Sunday at the start of their week. I consider Sunday to be at the end of my week because of the 7 days of the week. Sunday is the one day that I have off where I don't have work, I don't have school, I don't have clinical. So I am a Christian and I like to go to church. However, I have been very, very bad since being in school these last couple of years. Really the last year since I've started clinical, just because it sounds so awful, but Sunday is my one day. I know that I sound so bad saying it out loud. Sunday is my one day, and I am used to my whole life. I'd wake up early on Sunday mornings. I would go to church. I'm Episcopal or Episcopalian. If you guys are Episcopalian, shout out to you. Our church services are nice, short, and sweet, so they're only 1 hour. So I'm used to waking up early, going to my 1 hour service, getting breakfast on the way home, and then coming home and relaxing and starting the week. However, I started doing clinicals last summer, and that means that I started working 6 out of 7 days of the week last summer, and it is really hard for me to sacrifice my one day, which sounds awful, but I don't go to church on Sundays. Instead, what I will do is I will either wake up super early and I will spend the entire morning studying to knock it out of the way, or I will wake up and go to brunch with my girlfriends. So some Sunday mornings I will wake up, my girlfriends will come over for brunch, or I'll go to one of their houses for brunch, or we will go to a restaurant for brunch. And I will drink alcohol and I'll have mimosas and I will gossip and I will get to have my social fix and see my friends. So yeah, so some Sundays I will wake up and go to brunch with my friends, or I'll have my friends over for brunch. Some Sundays I will wake up at the crack of dawn and I will spend 6 hours straight studying just to knock it out of the way. Other Sundays I will wake up and I just feel energized and I will go to the gym, and then on my way home from the gym I'll go grocery shopping. Other Sundays I will clean the whole house if I feel energized, because my house isn't always clean because my husband works full time and I'm working 92 hours a week. So I will spend Sunday pretty much doing whatever I want to do, because that is my one day to do whatever I want to do. I'll also spend time seeing my family. So usually if I didn't see my family the night before, like Saturday after clinical, if I was so tired I had to come straight home, I will usually go see my mom and dad on Sunday instead. During football season, my brother and my father, I was gonna say my husband. During football season, my brother and my father will watch football. My house is Commander fans, formerly the Redskins, now Commanders. They will watch games together, which is so sweet. And I will go over to my parents' house, and while the boys are watching the game, I will be cooking African food with my mom, and we'll just be hanging out. And I'll do that for a few hours. Sometimes my husband will come and join us, and we'll all hang out. And my dog will also come, and we'll hang out as one big family. And then other times I just pop into my parents just to see them for a couple of hours, and then I come home. And once I come home, I just will watch TV. I love watching Lifetime movies. I'll watch Tubi movies. I also have a therapist, and I see her every Sunday. So we have our Sunday evening therapy sessions. Usually that's around like 6:30. And then once I'm done with therapy, I will go up, I will shower, I will get into comfortable clothing, I will pour myself a glass of wine, and I will pop popcorn, and my husband and I will watch 90 Day Fiancé on TLC. And I like to be in the moment and watch 90 Day Fiancé fully, but with school, sometimes that's not possible. If I have a lot of homework, then I will, which is, don't do this. You shouldn't do this. If you're doing homework, you should be focusing on your homework. But what I will do is I will be doing homework on my laptop while watching the filth that is 90 Day Fiancé. And it's a 2-hour show. So if I'm doing homework while watching 90 Day Fiancé, that's 2 hours worth of homework that I just kind of fit in there. I also forgot to mention that Sundays are when I will film my YouTube videos more often than not. So if I am not hanging out with my family, hanging out with my friends, going grocery shopping, cleaning the house, or anything of that nature, then I will sit and film a YouTube video. I'm actually filming this on a Sunday morning. But yeah, so I will watch 90 Day Fiancé. It ends at 10 p.m. on Sundays, and I will get into bed or go into the study, and I will do work and wind down and get ready for bed. And I am usually asleep by like 11 o'clock to midnight. And then that's the end of my Sunday, and then I start my week all over again. Okay, so that is taking you guys through my 92-hour work week. I don't know how interesting this was. I will say, I promise you it's more interesting than if I were to have filmed it in a vlog style, just because if you think about my week, I am working 40 to 50 hours during the week, and I cannot film myself working. I spend 7 hours driving in traffic during the week. I cannot film myself driving, and I don't feel comfortable filming myself driving. Can't film myself at my 12-hour clinical, so I figured that this would probably be a better way for me to take you guys through my week than not vlogging like 90% of what I do during the week. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.